What's up, beautiful people? Happy Monday. Yo, I have been waiting on an article to come out to pretty much say what I've been feeling and put it out there for the world to see. And I found this article. This is from the Alternate. It says, "We are on the eve of Trump's final reckoning." Okay? That's the title. It's a long one, so pull up a chair. About a year ago, at the start of the Trump regime, a woman was about to pass me on the sidewalk and then stopped, turned towards me, and almost shouted, "It's a fucking nightmare." It has been a fucking nightmare, to be honest. Okay? But sometimes a nation needs a nightmare before it can fully awaken to a long simmering crisis. Facts. I've been telling y'all, these fucks are here for a moment, okay? Martin Luther King Jr. mobilized the nation against racial injustice by making sure almost everyone in the United States saw its horrors on the nightly news, watching peaceful black people getting clubbed and arrested for exercising their rights. Were it not for that painful national exposure to racist brutality, we wouldn't have gotten the Civil Rights Act or the Voting Rights Act. Period. Facts. Okay? Something similar happened in the first years of the 20th century when muck-raking journalists revealed the monopolies, the corruption, and public be damned arrogance of robber barons. Were it not for that painful national exposure, we wouldn't have gotten the reforms of the progressive era. A similar dynamic is playing out as Americans witness the nightmares of Trump's neo-fascism. Its mindless cruelty, blatant attempts to silence critics, wanton destruction of much of our government, and open racism and misogyny. Okay? Goes on to say, Trump has revealed himself in ways his first-term handlers wouldn't allow. Okay? As a psychopath who posts AI cartoons showing himself shitting on millions of Americans who marched against him. A narcissist unable to respond to the tragic killings of Rob and Michelle Reiner without making it all about himself. A chronic liar who says prices are dropping when everyone in the fucking world knows they are rising. Facts. As Americans see all of this, outrage has been growing. We are beginning to mobilize, not all of us, of course, but a great majority. Okay? They had record numbers for the No Kings marches. Democrats have been winning every special election in mayoral or gubernatorial contest in a remarkable number of down ballot races in bright red states and cities. Okay? MAGA is coming apart. We are organizing and mobilizing with resolve. Okay? America had to come to this point. Facts. Told y'all. We had to. We needed to wake up. Okay? America had to come to this point. We couldn't go on as we were. Even under Democratic presidents for 40 years, a narrow economic elite has been siphoning off of ever more wealth and power. I'm old enough to remember when America had the largest and fastest growing middle class in the world. Okay? I remember when CEOs took home 20 times the pay of their workers, not 300 times. Facts. When members of Congress acted in the interest of their constituents rather than being bribed by campaign donations to do the bidding of big corporates and the super wealthy. I remember when our biggest domestic challenges were civil rights, women's rights, and gay rights, not the very survival of democracy and the rule of law. Okay? But over the last 40 years, starting with Reagan, America went off the rails. Deregulation, privatization, free trade, wild gambling by Wall Street, union bursting, monopolization, record levels of inequality, stagnant wages for most, staggering wealth for a few, big money taking over politics. Okay? Corporate profits became more important than good jobs and good wages for all. Stock buybacks and the well-being of investors more important than common good. Democratic presidents were better than Republicans, to be sure, but the underlying rot worsened. It was undermining the foundations of America. Okay? Period. Trump has participated a long overdue Trump has participated in a long overdue reckoning. Period. Hands down. Like I told y'all, this motherfucker was the vessel for this shit to be brought to the forefront. Because when you put a pig, a disgusting ass liar, a fucking narcissist in charge of some shit, this is exactly what you get. What we're living through right now. Okay? It has also revealed the suck-up cowardice of many CEOs, billionaires, Wall Street bankers, media moguls, tech titans, Republican politicians, and other so-called leaders who have stayed silent or actively sought to curry Trump's favor. America's so-called leadership class is a sham. Period. It's a fucking sham. Most of them do not care for the rest of America. They are out for themselves. The rich, they don't give a fuck about us. Okay? The fucking nightmare is not over by any stretch. It's likely to get worse in 2026 as Trump and his sycophants and many of America's leaders realize, okay? Rock with me because I've been telling y'all this. Realize 2026 may be their last unrestrained year to inflict damage and siphon off the spoils. But the nightmare has awakened much of America to the truth about what has happened to this country. Got us looking at government different, don't it? Got us looking at who's representing us differently, doesn't it? Got us paying fucking attention finally, doesn't it? Okay? But the nightmare has awakened much of America to the truth about what has happened to this country and what we must do to get it back on track towards social justice, democracy, and widespread prosperity. Hold on. Sorry, y'all, I'm back. Let's see, where did I leave off? Yes, it goes on to say, I'd like to believe that the horrific darkness of the past year is a necessary prelude to a brighter and saner future. Okay? I agree with him. He closes it off with, be well, be safe. We will prevail. Like I've said to all of y'all, this here is a moment in time that needed to happen. And I know it fucking sucks. It sucks. But I love that he compared this moment to Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement. Because that shit, when it aired, it broke America down. They had to see the bullshit that was happening and what we were living through. And the only way for us to acknowledge that shit was to face it head on. And that's what we're dealing with right now. This is a moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't prepared for it. It's here. We're living through it. And now it's time for us to correct it and get on the other side of it and make sure it never fucking happens again. All right, y'all, later.